Hello, fellow fantasy gamers, and welcome back to my channel. We are one day away from the 14th round in Italian Serie A, but first we have to see what happened last weekend. Let's check the results and see the ranking in our private league, as well as the top managers among us. Make sure you like the video and share it with your friend, and if you are watching on TikTok, please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you will help me a lot as our community grows bigger and bigger. And now let's start with the results of the 13th game week. In the opening game we saw a comeback from Salernitana against Lazio, thanks to Candreva's superb shot from outside the box. The away side was leading at half-time, but conceded 2 goals and lost the game. Tell me down in the comments, how many of you had proved L as goalkeeper and sold him after the bad start of the team? In the next match, Atalanta lost at home from the champions and are now on a 3 games winless streak. Closing the Saturday night, we saw the game between Milan and Fiorentina, which finished 1-0, thanks to the saves of the French keeper of AC Milan. The man of the match for the fantasy managers was Theo Hernandez, who won a penalty and scored it, collecting 17 points for the game. In the early game of Sunday, Cagliari and Monza shared the points in a 1-1 draw. Alberto Docina scored for the second game in a row, and on the other side, Colpani couldn't score points in the attacking phase. After that it was time for the game with most goals. Empoli lost to Sassuolo 3-4. Domenico Birodi scored 15 points for the fantasy managers by scoring 2 goals, one of which was from penalty. In the next game, Frosinone won over Genoa with 2-1. Matthias Sulai scored another goal, as he makes a very big impression this season playing for the Serie B champions. In the evening game, Roma defeated Udinese with 3-1. In this game, Paulo Dybala scored 1 goal and made 1 assist. But for me the more important thing was that Mancini scored the first goal, bringing me 12 points from this round. Udinese still can't find the winning path and are with 1 victory after 13 rounds, just 1 point over the relegation zone. And from the relegation zone we climbed to the top where it was time for the Derby d'Italia. In Torino, Juventus welcomed Inter in an intense game which finished 1-1 with not that much beautiful moments. Both sides were looking not to lose the game, rather to try and win it. There were still 2 games left for the Monday evening. In the first one, Verona and Lecce finished 2-2, and in this game we finally saw Milan Juric scoring and assisting, collecting 13 points for the fantasy managers. He's one cheap option in the attack, which everybody should think over. And in the last game for the 13th round, Bologna won over Torino with 2-0. That way the Thiago Motta side climbed to the 5th spot and can start dreaming of European football for the next season. And this is the dream team for this round in the fantasy game. 145 points were collected between this 11 players, and again, most of the points were collected by the defenders. We have witnessed a lot of goals from defenders and midfielders in the last weekend. Moving on to the ranking in our private league. As we can see, we have 1 new manager, who immediately sat on the top spot. Kwame Safo from Ghana had good round, collecting over 100 points, and rightfully is at the first place. Eldar is losing ground, as Henok, Nikola Ratkovic and Saif are still near the newbie and in the fight for the first spot. My team has dropped again and is now sitting on the 12th position. It looks like I won't have another chance to get closer to the top managers, and on the other side those below me are shortening the distance. And this is the bottom half of the table, where I can see bigger distances between the teams. Tony D from Croatia registered the highest result in this round. He had Birodi as a captain, and Hernandez and Mancini in the defense. As we saw earlier, they've had great weekend. In the attack he had Martinez and Xerxes who scored, as Lukaku made an assist. In our league the highest result was 107 points, reached by 2 managers. Henok from Norway is one of the newest managers around here, and he had the same captain, as well as Hernandez, while all the rest contributed in their own way. The other manager with 107 points was Adrian Bonino, who used his wild card and broke the curse, scoring over 100 points. He chose Dybala as a captain, and I think is the only one who has both inter-strikers in the attack. The rest of his new team is looking very good as well. And this is the team of the leader, the newbie, King Eddie, who gained 102 points. He has collected lethal strikers up front, but I think that the midfielders could be better. My team collected just 74 points, which was a little bit disappointing, but still better than the last season. I didn't have either Berardi, nor Dybala, but I have Mancini, and that is pretty much all I've had. This is the 6th time this year that my captain has made less than 4 points, which wasn't exactly my objective. I am starting to make bad transfer decisions and captain choices again, just like last season. Tell me down in the comments, who do you think I should bring in going forward, and do I have to use the wild card now, or it is too late? I think I have lost any chances of climbing up and reaching the first place. As we look forward to the next round starting in just over 24 hours, there is one big game ahead. Napoli welcomes Inter at the Maradona Stadium. The champions are facing the #1 contender for the Scudetto this season. It will be very interesting to see how much energy these teams will have after the tough games in Champions League yesterday. I wish you all good luck for the next round, and I hope that one of us can get the highest result this time. And again, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel in TikTok and in YouTube. Take care and God bless.